So today we are going to be talking about something that a lot of people are like trying to almost speak into existence. It's just a lot of theories. I don't fully believe in it. I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't fully believe this, but I do believe it is a thought in the back of people's heads. So I was going to have a joke to start this video and being like, well, Marina Mabry's talking about what her kitchen is the court. And I was like, this is my kitchen, but I'm not even at home. So, yeah. This is obviously another one of the many locations. I've been in multiple houses. I've been in my parents' house. I've been in cars. I've been in tents. I need to get more creative. I've been in hotels recording. I need to get way more creative with my recording. Like, I need to find a quiet place on the street next and just record a video. I think that would be next. But we're going to have to talk about the potential that WNBA players are going to refuse to play in Indiana for All-Star Weekend. And that is something that people are talking about, mainly because players are now claiming to feel unsafe in Indiana. And I've said it that I do feel that it is just a dangerous rhetoric because the vast majority of in-person fans in Cambridge are kids. They are children. And I'm sorry, like, I get it, you don't like Caitlin Clark. I understand that. But to take out your hate for one person on literal children and on super fans, I'm sorry, but like, that's just for me, that's just unacceptable. Like, I'm cool if you're gonna attack the online trolls. Heck, I'm cool if you're gonna attack people that you just don't necessarily like. Like, we heard from Candace Parker, obviously, that people are scared to give any criticism in the WNBA of players, and I agree with that. I agree wholeheartedly with that. But it's like, even if someone is giving criticism and you don't like them, cool. Like, I don't think anyone in the media's goal should be buddy with players. That's just my opinion. But when it comes to this scenario here, I'm like, we're now looking at situations where they're going at the in-person fans, which, let's be real, the in-person fans in Cambridge, outside of maybe the Liberty, are the best fans in the WNBA. They are the best fans in the WNBA. And a big reason why, it's a lot of children. And I'm sorry, the kids are going to be the loudest. But I understand, like, it is an ominous atmosphere. And like, you know, these fans having fun. It's like when they cheer for their team, you know, I felt scared. I felt scared when they cheered for their team. I mean, when I saw all those children close to the court, like, man, I knew shit was going to pop off, as Asia Wilson said. And the one thing is that I can guarantee you that, and it's like, if someone in the crowd says something, it's not even the fault of the Fever. One, nothing was reported until after the Fever went down. And this is why I hated the situation so much, is that every single team waited until after the Fever had played all their home games. They'd waited until the Fever were not playing any more home games, and then they went out and complained about the Fever fans. And I'm like, one, Brittany Griner played one game in Indiana. She played one game in Indiana right before All-Star Weekend, where she played, what, like 6 minutes before she had to leave after getting injured. And now she's talking about how she received so much in person by Indiana fans. I'm like, dude, are you basically just saying every negative? Like, my only thought process is that these players have been conditioned to thinking every negative thing that's said about them is an Indiana fan. Well, obviously I am one, but like, that doesn't mean that, like, I don't know. If I say something negative about Dana Evans, that doesn't mean I'm an Angel Reese fan, in fairness. And Dana Evans she's probably equated all to Angel Reese fans. And that's where kind of the problem is. But I do think that it's going to be a conversation. I don't think it's going to happen. No player is going to skip out on All-Star Weekend. Because if they think, oh, we have more power, they don't. There we are. I'm trying to think of players in the WNBA that if they refuse to play, they would move the All-Star game. And Asia Wilson's not one of them. She sold less jerseys than Kate Martin. She is not one of them. It is Sabrina Ionescu, it is Angel Reese, it is Caitlin Clark, and it is Paige Beckers. They are the 4 biggest players in the WNBA. As far as like realistically what matters. If A'ja Wilson says she won't play at All-Star Weekend, cool. And I think that the problem is that we're going to see it next year. I think we're going to see the WNBA almost being ruled with an iron fist. I think they're going to see the crap they've done this year. I think they're going to see the people that they've platformed. I think they're going to see the fact that they have allowed players to publicly interact with a guy who lost his job for assaulting a child. And how the media that they are promoting on their own platforms are positively interacting with this guy, and the stuff that he has said about players, the stuff that some of the people that they've given credentials to, like media that are being promoted by the league itself, the stuff that some of them have said about Caitlin Clark is going to age so badly. It's going to age so badly, and I think if you are a PR person for the league, your job is to clean up the image of this league. And the last thing you want to do is bow down to the crazy people. And I'm sorry, like the ominous crowd in Indiana. And look, these people will, I don't know if the likes of A'ja Wilson are parroting those or they are parroting A'ja Wilson. I don't know who's coming up with it, but we know that these media are like for lack of a better word, crazy media have like personal relationships with a lot of the biggest players in this league, a lot of the big names. And I don't know who's convincing who to say what, but we're going to see a lot more articles about the All-Star game going from Indiana. But we're not going to see, by the way, we're the only one of those 4 that we could see maybe not wanting to play the game. There's Angel Reese. And I don't even think Angel Reese will, because Angel Reese is smart enough to know. She's smart enough to know that her money is not going to be like she's, as far as business savvy in the WNBA, she's one of the most business savvy players. She is not going to do something to screw her own money. And boycotting All-Star Weekend would do that. I don't think the players will do it in the end, but I think it's going to be a conversation in the media. I think the players aren't going to refuse to play, but what I do think is that the players are going to try push the crazy media. Again, they're probably going to try the astrology person who said the crowd was ominous, and the other person who has called Caitlin Clark a teenage boy, and the other person who we've seen get credentials that called Caitlin Clark a SS, a person or type of person that is commonly associated with long trench coats. I don't want to say it to get demonetized. We've seen somebody with WNBA credentials call Caitlin Clark that. So obviously we all kind of know. Anyone with a bit of sanity knows. And by the way, this isn't going at Oldham. Like, there are plenty of quote-unquote old media WNBA people that do in general a good job. The likes of Al Duncan, the likes of Chinea Nwumike, the likes of Andrea Carter. And like, I've got no issue in general with Monica McNutt, these type of people. Do I agree with anything Oldham say? No, but at the end of the day, a lot of these people are at least in good faith. But there are a lot of people that are not good faith journalists. And the problem is that a non-good faith journalist gets like a Skip Bayless type, gets laughed into oblivion in most sports, but in the WNBA somehow these people have been allowed to control the narrative. And what I think is going to happen is the crazy people are going to try push this narrative. And the problem is that a lot of these crazy people are going to be verified journalists. And they're going to be people that WNBA have previously associated with. So people are going to put more merit into this. Because I think, like we're talking about, there was like maybe 3 players that have said there's a problem with the Indiana crowd. Actually, when I'm talking about 3 players, there are 2 players about the crowd in person. But yeah, we strayed away here about the ominous crowd and all this crap from the same people. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.